Sagittarius, on Monday, the 10th, the sky opens like a gate of light, and I can feel a stream of energy moving toward you. A truth, long hidden, is about to burst open. This isn't a vague prophecy. It's something your soul has sensed for lifetimes. That day, your heart may tremble, because what you're about to see will make it impossible to keep living the same way again. Like lightning striking a still sky, it awakens your spirit. There's no turning back now, no safe zone, only you and the truth standing right in front of you. The universe no longer wants you to stay asleep in illusion. It wants you to awaken and finally understand why everything that once hurt you was actually the beginning of a divine blessing. I promise you this: if you stay until the end of this message, you'll understand why the storm ahead isn't punishment. It's a symphony of truth, composed especially for Sagittarius, the one chosen to illuminate others through faith and wisdom. You'll see that everything falling apart is simply making room for your soul to be free. Now, before we go further, write this down in the comments to align with the frequency of the universe. I am ready to receive the sacred truth of my life. Because when you write it, it's no longer just words. It becomes a sacred contract between you and the light that's guiding you. And now, let me show you why Monday, the 10th, carries such unusual energy. Because the planets are aligning in a formation that hasn't occurred once in the last 12 years. We're about to decode what's truly waiting ahead for you, Sagittarius. Sagittarius, Monday the 10th isn't just a date on a calendar. It's a portal, a point where the five heavens and the human heart vibrate together at the same frequency of truth. If you've felt lately as if you're caught in a whirlwind, if everything old in you seems to be shaking apart, it's not random. Jupiter, your ruling planet, is now speaking directly with Uranus. And when these two forces connect, every buried truth begins to rise. I've said it before. Sagittarius is the child of light. But light doesn't only come from faith, it comes from the courage to face what once terrified you. When truth knocks at your door, you can't pretend you don't hear it anymore. The 10th will be that moment, the moment the universe asks you to awaken completely. Jupiter, the planet of growth, knowledge, and meaning, is now in perfect harmony with Uranus, the rebel, the rule breaker, the one who brings sudden flashes of insight. This combination is rare, Sagittarius. It's like living in a dimly lit room and someone suddenly throws open the window. Light floods in, and the first thing you see may not be comfortable, but that light is the truth. Meanwhile, the moon is moving through Pisces, the sign of intuition and dreams. It heightens your senses in mysterious ways. You'll start noticing things left unspoken, but your soul already knows them. You'll hear the truth, not with your ears, but through the frequency of your heart. Mars, the red warrior, is standing in the 9th house, the house of wisdom, belief, and higher vision. Which means you won't just see the truth, you'll feel driven to act on it. You no longer want to live halfway, to stay among the fake or the fragile. You want to touch what's real. The universe doesn't want you to be deceived any longer. On the 10th, The fog begins to lift, and you'll see clearly who's genuine and who's been wearing a mask. Some people will shock you. Some moments may make you cry. But Sagittarius, don't be afraid, because those first tears are the water that cleanses your soul. The hardest pain often becomes the very first step toward freedom. Have you ever noticed? Whenever the universe wants to upgrade you, it doesn't hand you gifts. It takes away something you once thought you couldn't live without. It's not punishment. It's how the soul expands so it can hold more light. I remember once, during a midnight meditation, I heard a voice inside my mind whisper, "The truth will always win. But before it does, it will break your heart. When truth arrives, it may feel like being pierced straight through. But soon you'll realize that wound was only cutting away what was false, so you could live as your truest self." I believe nothing is more terrifying than deceiving yourself. Once you see the truth, no matter how uncomfortable, your soul becomes grateful, because from that moment on, you're no longer blind. Life isn't always fair, but it's always honest. Whatever's been hidden will eventually rise, just as the sun will rise again even after the darkest storm. And the 10th, Sagittarius, will be your sunrise. A dawn that might bring tears, but they'll be the tears of someone who finally remembers who they are. You were never born to walk an easy path. You were born to cross the dark forest and carry the torch that lights the way for others. Sagittarius isn't just the seeker of truth, you are the keeper of meaning. While the world chases illusions, you're the one asking, what's actually right? And when you ask that question with your whole heart, the universe cannot stay silent. On the 10th, this energy will make every word, every gesture, crystal clear. You'll feel who's sincere and who's wearing a mask. Even a dream, a random song, or a casual phrase you see online could carry a hidden message from the universe itself. Don't dismiss those strange little intuitions now, because when the Pisces moon opens its channel, what you hear in your heart is the truth your eyes can't yet see. Truth often arrives like an explosion, but remember, the wound is where the light enters. If someone walks away from you, it's only because their energy no longer matches your awakening soul. If a door closes, it's because the universe is protecting you from something unworthy of your new vibration. Sometimes, blessings don't come as miracles. They come disguised as loss. I know, you might be tired. You might be looking at your life asking, where did I go wrong? But Sagittarius, you never went wrong. You simply went real. And sometimes, the real path isn't paved with roses, it's paved with lessons and light. There's one truth nobody tells you. Courage isn't about not being afraid. It's about walking forward, even while you're shaking. Sagittarius, you've been misunderstood for your honesty. You've been lonely for saying what others were afraid to speak. But that's exactly what makes you rare. The world needs more souls like you, souls who tell the truth even when their voice still trembles. So don't regret what's about to unfold on the 10th. You're not losing anything. You're being purified. When Jupiter and Uranus join hands, old structures begin to crumble. A secret or a long-hidden message may suddenly surface, like lightning, splitting the sky. Don't be surprised if someone you trusted shows their real face. And don't be shocked if you discover someone's been quietly standing with you all along. Truth isn't always something spoken. Sometimes, it's a silence that suddenly means everything. If you're hearing this message right now, it's not by chance. Your soul was guided here to receive one thing. Trust your intuition, because it's the whisper of God. Pause for a moment, take a deep breath, and ask yourself quietly, what truth is my heart trying to tell me? You'll hear an answer soft, subtle, but powerful enough to change everything. If you feel these words are speaking to you, write in the comments, I am ready to see the true light of my life. Because when you write it, your energy begins to shift. You're telling the universe, I choose truth, even if it makes me tremble. And that is where miracles begin. The 10th doesn't come to destroy you. It tues and huef. From that moment on, Sagittarius steps into their true role, the one who carry. But this is only the beginning. Back a greater question what will? And that, dear Sagittarius, is the journey, the path, where you live with the light. After the storm of truth has passed, your heart may still be trembling, but within that quiet spee you'll realize your layer of skin has fallen away, a curtain has been lifted, and there you stand. Your eyes see more clearly, your voice grows steady, and your soul, bigi. You are Sagittarius the Archer, a born. When others crave safety, you crave understanding. When the world settles for you, no, I want a K. That's your nature, a bra even. You are the one who dares to look directly, to ask, to believe that something higher, deeper, and more real exists beyond every mask this world wears. Sagittarius was never born to stay in the comfort zone. Your soul is a journey always searching for the answer to one timeless question. What is the true meaning of freedom? Freedom isn't doing everything you want. Freedom is living without hiding what you believe in. And when you live truthfully, speak honestly, and shine through truth itself, you're fulfilling your sacred purpose to become a bearer of light in an age of shadows. In astrology, Sagittarius is protected by Jupiter, the planet of wisdom, expansion, and divine blessing. Jupiter doesn't hand you material rewards first. It gives you insight, and from that insight, miracles begin to unfold. When you understand the truth, you transform. When you transform, your energy shifts. And when your energy changes, the whole world begins to turn in rhythm with the frequency you radiate. In a world drowning in pretense, your courage becomes a torch of hope. You might not realize it, but every time you choose honesty, you give others permission to do the same. Every time you say, I'm not perfect, but I'm real, you open a doorway for other souls to breathe and to live as who they truly are. That's what I call the Sagittarius effect, a single, authentic soul capable of awakening hundreds of others who've been sleeping in fear. When truth erupts, You are never the one who hides. You're the first to stand and say, "Let the light in," because you know light doesn't arrive to burn. It comes to warm, to reveal, and to guide. I've met many Sagittarians in my life, and they all share something in common. They smile so brightly, but behind that smile lie deep, unseen scars. They love with their whole heart. They believe with their whole soul. And when the truth breaks open, they're often the ones who hurt the most. But you know what's beautiful? Those very people, the ones who've bled for their faith, are also the ones who forgive the fastest. Not because they're weak, but because they understand that forgiveness is the only way to keep their soul pure. When you dare to face the truth, you lose nothing. You only shed what was never truly yours. Let that sentence sink in, because it holds one of the deepest spiritual truths there is. Truth may make you cry, but you'll soon see. Those tears aren't signs of weakness. They're the final cleansing before your wings grow light enough to rise. Every time you choose honesty, you raise your frequency one level higher. And when your frequency shifts, old people, old stories, even old jobs begin to fall away. Don't mourn it, because when the light comes, darkness has to leave. That's not loss, that's purification. The universe is rearranging everything so you can shine without being pulled back down. Do you remember the last time you felt truly at peace? Not when you won something, but when you let something go. When you stopped trying to prove your worth. When you stopped struggling to be understood. When you simply said, "I am who I am, and that's enough." That moment was when your soul was most beautiful. I believe God never gives Sagittarius an easy lesson. He gives you long journeys, high mountains to climb, and vast inner landscapes to cross, because he knows only you can walk to the very edge of truth without losing your compassion along the way. When you walk through your trials, you're not just healing yourself, you're healing the world. Because light never shines for one person, alone. It spreads slowly, quietly, like dawn after a long night. If you're listening to this and your heart is trembling right now, it's a sign. Your soul is ready to rise into a higher frequency. Pause for a moment. Take a deep breath. Place your hand on your chest and write this in the comments as a declaration. I am Sagittarius, and I choose the light. Because when you choose the light also chooses you. And that's how souls of the same frequency find each other in this vast, beautiful world. In ancient astrology, they used to say, Sagittarius carries the arrow of light, piercing through the clouds of ignorance. You are that one, the messenger. The soul meant not only to find the light, but to bring it back for others. Every time you tell your true story, every time you live authentically, even when misunderstood, you release another arrow of light into the future of humanity. This world needs souls like you, souls, who don't just speak truth, but live it, with kindness, with wisdom, with deep empathy. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be real. Because light doesn't demand that you shine brightly, it only asks that you never go out. And when that light inside you begins to shine, don't be surprised if the world reacts. Not everyone is ready to face the truth you carry. Some will walk away, some will resist. But a few, the rare, resonant souls, will find you. They will look at you and see themselves. They are the ones the universe sends to remind you that you have never been alone on this path. Because it's only when you dare to shine that you finally see who was truly standing with you in the dark. And that, dear Sagittarius, is only the prelude. Because after the light is lit, the final curtain begins to fall, and you'll face the ultimate truth. A truth that will not only reshape your heart, but rewrite your destiny. We'll step into that in the next chapter. Sagittarius, when the light has been kindled inside your heart, the universe begins to move. A door opens quietly, and through it, truth begins to pour in. No longer just intuition, no longer a vague dream, but a sign. Undeniable, unmistakable, real. It could be a recurring dream that jolts you awake at midnight with your heart racing, a confession you never saw coming, a message, a meeting, a casual phrase that suddenly makes your whole inner world tremble and break open. When the tower appears in the tarot, it isn't a curse. It's the sound of a bell, announcing that the walls of illusion must finally fall. Imagine standing inside a castle you've built for years. Beautiful, safe, but no longer real. Then lightning strikes, and in an instant, everything you once believed in explodes into light. Sagittarius, you will be startled. You will hurt. But remember this: the universe doesn't destroy to punish, it destroys to liberate. The lightning of the tower doesn't come to burn your soul. It comes to cut the cords that have kept you trapped in illusion. When the truth is revealed, the old energy dissolves, and you, the bearer of light, are finally free. I know. Sometimes, to see the light, you must stand in the dark long enough. You must let the tower crumble. You must let your heart break so you can feel the real ground beneath your feet again. And only when you stand upon that true ground bare, stripped of illusion, can you begin to rebuild your life in the light of what's real. After the tower, the tarot always brings the star, the card of hope, because the universe never takes without giving. The image of the star shows a woman kneeling by the water, pouring out an old vessel to make space for the new. She is naked, unguarded, unhurried, because she knows there is nothing more beautiful than returning to who you truly are. Sagittarius, that's you after the truth is revealed. You no longer cling to old promises. You no longer make excuses for others, and you no longer blame fate. You simply sit in stillness, looking at the cracks within your own heart, and you see light pouring out from them. Because light always leaks through the places that once broke. When Pluto, the planet of deep transformation, forms a trine with the sun, it marks a rare moment of great rebirth. This is when humanity is called back to the truest essence of its soul. Pluto is never afraid of the dark because he rules it. But when his power blends harmoniously with the sun, the pure source of light, darkness, and light no longer stand as enemies. They become a sacred symphony of awareness. And that, Sagittarius, is your journey. When truth is revealed, you no longer see life as good or bad, right or wrong. You begin to see that everything was necessary. You stop resenting those who hurt you, because now you understand. Sometimes, God makes us witness what breaks our hearts, so we can finally see who truly loves us. Maybe you once believed that person would never betray you. Maybe you thought that one relationship would last forever. Then the truth came and you collapsed. That was your personal tower moment. But within that collapse, something sacred began to rise. Your faith in yourself. You realize now, you once gave too much power to fear. You believed that if someone left, you'd fall apart. But they left, and you're still standing. Not just standing, but standing taller, brighter, freer. Because in the end, no one can take away your light unless you decide to dim it yourself. I believe every truth has a kind of mercy within it. It may make you cry, but it's never cruel. It simply whispers, it's time to stop pretending that you're not worthy. That's why when the curtain falls, you'll feel both pain and relief, like taking off armor you've worn for far too long. It once protected you, but now it only makes it hard to breathe. Let it all fall away. Don't cling. Don't try to gather the broken pieces, because light doesn't live in the past. On the 10th, Sagittarius, trust that whatever leaves your life is guiding you closer to the truth you were born to carry. Imagine yourself standing in a theater. Heavy velvet curtains have hidden the stage for years. You hear movement behind them, you know something is waiting. And then, the curtain falls. You see it all, the characters, the roles, the faces unveiled. You're shocked, but somehow you smile. Because finally, you can see the entire story. And what you realize is this: no one there was ever truly your enemy. Each soul was simply playing their part so your spirit could learn what it came here to learn. Maybe right now, you're sitting among the ashes of a broken dream. But look closely. Ashes are not the end. They're fertile ground, the soil from which new life will grow. And you, Sagittarius, you're the one planting those seeds again, with faith that's been purified. A faith no longer naive, yet still beautiful. A kindness no longer blind, yet still gentle. A love that no longer clings, but still knows how to give. Now, I want you to do something small. Close your eyes and remember a moment in your life when one truth changed you forever. Maybe it was the day you realized someone no longer loved you. Maybe it was when you discovered that someone you trusted wasn't real. Or maybe it was when you looked in the mirror and saw how long you'd been lying to yourself. That feeling, the sting of it, hurts. But buried within it is a stream of light. And that light says, thank you for daring to see. Because seeing is the beginning of healing. If you've ever lived through such a moment, that lightning strike of awakening, share your story in the comments below. Because when you speak it aloud, your pain no longer lives in the dark. it's released, and it might just reach someone who's fighting the same storm tonight. Have you ever faced a truth that changed you forever? Share your story so we can heal together. And when the storm passes, when all the curtains have fallen, you'll find yourself standing in a stillness so pure. No more chaos, no more noise, just you and the quiet breath of your own being. But this isn't the end. It's the moment before sunrise, because after truth arrives, your soul must learn one thing greater still: how to love life again within that truth. And that will be the journey of what comes next, where you, Sagittarius, learn how to be reborn through light. After all that's happened, do you hear it? That strange, peaceful silence? No more breaking, no more storms, just you and your breath. The universe is still here, softly, gently, as if waiting for you to notice. You were never abandoned. You've simply awakened from a long dream. When the sun forms a trine with Neptune, souls like yours begin to see the unseen. Not with the eyes, but with the heart. You no longer just hear people's words, you sense the energy behind them. You no longer just see things, you perceive the meaning they carry. This is the energy of enlightenment, where intuition becomes language, and faith becomes the bridge between you, God, and the universe. At the same time, Jupiter, your ruling planet, is sextile to the North Node, the point of destiny, which means the gate of fate is opening if you're brave enough to walk through it. Not with logic, but with faith. Because sometimes, awakening doesn't come when you understand. It comes when you finally stop trying to understand and begin to feel. Awakening isn't about becoming someone new. It's about returning to who you were before you ran from yourself. You start to see every tear, every burst of anger, every fall. None of it was meant to weaken you. It was all meant to wake you up from an old dream. Because not every truth comes to hurt you. Some truths arrive to help you remember. You were always meant for more, Sagittarius. You've lived through enough loss to know now. Forgiveness isn't something you give because they deserve it. You forgive because you deserve peace. Letting go doesn't mean you're weak. Letting go is an act of strength, because only when you release what's old can your hands open to receive what's new. The world was never meant to be perfect. Neither were people. But it's through the cracks that light finds its way in. Awakening begins when you stop trying to fix others and start learning to see them through understanding and compassion. It's when you realize every soul is wrestling with its own shadows. And once you understand that, you no longer need to prove anything. You just live honest, whole, and kind. When you awaken, your love changes too. It no longer demands. It no longer waits to be recognized. It simply wants to give, because giving itself has become the miracle. The love of an awakened heart is like the sun. Even when someone turns away, its light still shines, not to be noticed, but because shining is its nature. These days, you may feel yourself becoming more sensitive. A song makes you cry, a stranger feels oddly familiar, or when you look up at the night sky, A strange stillness fills your chest. That's not weakness. That's expansion. You're reconnecting with the world in a subtler way. Don't fear your feelings. Emotion is how the soul speaks to you. Every tear, every smile is a message from the deepest part of who you are. Neptune, the planet of dreams, faith, and the unseen, teaches you this. Sometimes, what the eyes see is the least real of all. Faith isn't knowing the outcome. Faith is walking forward, even when all you can see is fog. And that, Sagittarius, is your greatest lesson. Because in the darkness, only the one carrying the torch can see the way. Awakening doesn't arrive with thunder. It comes on a quiet morning when you open your eyes and realize you no longer want revenge. You just want peace. And you smile not because everything is perfect, but because you no longer need it to be. That is the moment you are reborn. Try this. Imagine that tomorrow you meet yourself from 10 years ago, the one still anxious, still trying, still unsure of their worth. What would you say? I believe you'd hug that version of you and whisper, "Thank you for not giving up." Because without that you, there would be no you sitting here now listening to these words, knowing your soul has come so far. Sagittarius, sometimes growth doesn't come from gaining more. It comes from losing illusions. And when everything you once believed in falls apart, you finally see the only thing that remains, the light inside you. That is, God within. Not an image on a wall, but the immortal soul itself guiding you through every trial, all the way home. Forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting. It means choosing not to let the wound steer your future anymore. Forgive not because they deserve it, but because you deserve peace. Every time you release resentment, an invisible chain snaps, and your soul becomes a little lighter. Forgiveness is how you set yourself free. Every sign of the zodiac has its own road back to light. Yours, Sagittarius, has always been the path of faith. When you believe in goodness, you create goodness. When you believe you're worthy, you start attracting what's worthy of you. Because the universe doesn't listen to begging, it mirrors your frequency. If you vibrate in fear, it sends you lessons. If you vibrate in faith, it sends you miracles. If these words feel true to you, write this in the comments. I am ready to see the true light of my life. When you write it, you're not just typing words, you're sending a signal to the universe, confirming that you are ready to cross the threshold of awareness. After every storm, you realize peace doesn't come from understanding everything. Peace lives in the acceptance that some things were never meant to be solved. And when you learn that, everything around you begins to shift. Old faces return, new opportunities appear. But you no longer fear losing or gaining because now you know everything comes exactly when it's meant to. The light within you has only just begun to move. Like the first sunrise after a long night. Be ready, because now the universe wants you to rise to carry that torch farther than you ever have before. In the next chapter, We step into the realm of the arrow of light, a place where you no longer just see the truth, but learn how to use it to create something beautiful in this world. Stay with me, because the next chapter is the chapter of mission and miracle. Sagittarius, this is the moment your new journey begins, the journey of the one who carries the arrow of light. You have walked through darkness, you have faced the truth, you have awakened, and now the universe wants more. Not for you to just understand the light, but to become the light itself. In ancient astrology, Sagittarius was called the traveler between worlds. Half human, half celestial. A soul born of both earth and sky. You are the bridge between pain and hope, between shadow and illumination. And in that sacred in-between, you choose faith. When the world deceives, you choose honesty. When others tremble, you walk with light. And when the crowd doubts, you still smile because your soul knows every hardship is only a stop along a much greater road. Sagittarius, don't fear the path that looks unlike anyone else's. You were never meant to follow the crowd. You were born to carve a way through it. Remember this: no light can shine far if it's afraid of the dark. And you are living proof of that truth. Truth doesn't come to break you. It comes to show that you are ready for the next level of your soul. Every challenge, every closed door, every moment you still choose love and faith and forward motion, that is you evolving. That is your soul ascending. Jupiter, your ruling planet, never stops expanding the horizon. It whispers to you. Each time you overcome a fear, you don't just grow, you expand the universe inside you. That is why you were chosen, not because you are perfect, but because you are brave. Now that the truth has been revealed, now that the soul is awake, the universe doesn't want you to sit and understand, it wants you to live. Live with faith that everything has purpose. Live with gratitude, even for loss. Because for an evolving soul, no loss is ever meaningless. Let your actions become your prayers. Let everything you do carry the vibration of honesty. If someone needs help, help them. Not because they deserve it, but because your light can guide another. If you love deeply, but don't forget to keep a little love for yourself. If you speak the truth. But remember, truth shines brighter when wrapped in kindness. If the world had more souls like Sagittarius, honest, generous, and full of faith, it would be a softer place. Less deceitful, less cold. Because when you live in truth, you don't just heal your life, you heal the collective heart of humanity. Every time you choose forgiveness instead of revenge, you soften the heart of the world. Every time you choose faith over fear, you raise the frequency of all humanity. Every time you say, "I believe in the light," that vibration travels farther than you know, touching hearts that have forgotten hope, reminding them that somewhere, someone still dares to love, still dares to live in truth. You might not see yourself as extraordinary, but I want you to know this, Sagittarius. The universe sees you as a torch, That torch doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to burn steady, real, and alive. Every day you choose honesty, kindness, courage. You keep that flame alive, and through you, the world remembers what light feels like. And somewhere out there in this vast world, a lost soul will see your light and find their way home. You may never know the full reach of your impact, but trust me, the universe knows. If your heart feels warm while hearing these words, that's not a coincidence. It's light touching you. Write this below the video. I am Sagittarius, and I choose to be the light. Write it not just to affirm, but to activate, to turn words into vibration, and vibration into miracle. You may think this journey is ending, but truly, this is where it begins. Because after the 10th, when you've walked through the shock of truth, when you've released what no longer serves your soul, when you dare to stand tall in your own light, the universe will send a reward you never imagined. Not in the form of money, fame, or power, but in peace so deep it silences every fear. It may come as a real connection, a divine coincidence, or maybe a morning when you open your eyes and realize you're smiling for no reason at all. Sagittarius, you don't have to try to be special. Just being yourself already changes the world. In a time when honesty is rare, your sincerity is a miracle. In a world full of noise, the quiet in your heart is a gift. And on the darkest days, it only takes one person like you, brave enough to believe, kind enough to love, wise enough not to fight darkness with more darkness, for the universe to know light still exists on this earth. Truth doesn't come to destroy you. It comes to prove that you're ready for a higher level of your soul. And now, Sagittarius, you are living at that level. A soul that has walked through fire and still chooses to keep faith in the light. And that's only the beginning, because after the 10th, once you've faced the storm of truth, the universe will send the blessing you never dreamed of. Sagittarius, by now, I know your heart has traveled far from the darkness of confusion to the light of understanding, from endless questions to the sacred knowing that you don't have to know everything, you just have to trust. Don't fear the truth, Sagittarius. The truth won't kill you, it will free you. It strips away the armor you once believed you needed to survive. It reaches the deepest corner of your heart and reminds you that love, faith, and light never left you. The universe has only been preparing you for a greater role, a wider vision, and a truer love. When truth breaks you open, you are reborn. When you surrender, you expand. When you love, you become the light the universe sent into this world. You've completed one soul cycle, Sagittarius, and what comes next is no longer a lesson, but a reward. Now, breathe in. Feel the air return to your body. No more questions, no more open wounds, only stillness and light spreading through every cell. You made it. You proved that the human heart can endure and still choose to love. There will come a day when you look back and ask, why did I have to go through all of that? And then you'll smile, because you'll understand every pain was necessary to awaken you. Without those wounds, you wouldn't have the eyes you have today, the eyes that see beauty even in what once looked broken. I want to thank you for not leaving, for staying, even when you thought no one stayed for you, for believing, even when the world gave you reasons to doubt. That faith, that quiet fire, is what makes you the one who carries the arrow of light, not because you know everything, but because you know how to rise every time life brings you to your knees. You are no longer just a Sagittarius on a search. You've become a guide. Every smile, every word, every act of yours can now become a torch for someone else. Use that light with humility, because true light never boasts. It simply shines. If these words touched your heart, if your soul feels like it's being called by its real name, write this below. I am ready to embrace my great destiny. Because that's not just a comment, it's a declaration of energy. It's a signal to the universe that you're ready to receive your blessing. If this video moved you, hit like. Share it with other souls searching for light. Because you never know, one line you write, one word you share today, could be the tiny miracle someone needs to get through their darkest night. But Sagittarius, this journey isn't over yet. Because there is someone, a soul, quietly watching you from afar since the truth was revealed. They're not here to test you, but to complete you. That soul carries a piece of energy you once lost, and the universe is preparing to bring you back together. In the next video, we'll speak of the one who has been silently following you after the 10th, and why their soul still hasn't let go. You have walked through the night, and now your light is strong enough to guide the world. Hold on to that faith, Sagittarius, because your great destiny has only just begun.